Welcome into Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. As always, Stu and Mike here to take you through the card this weekend at Royal Randwick under some glorious weather, beautiful spring conditions on Thursday, a little bit of rain potentially Friday, but we're here to find you a lot of winners for the card. And Mike, how good is it going to be this weekend? We get to see Nature Strip on its path to the Everest. How good?
Yeah, group racing, spring racing coming up. It's so good. The weather's clear. It might be a bit rainy tomorrow. But as for Nature Strip, guessing how he's going to go first up at $1.40, that's giving me a bit of a headache. And this Chelmsford as well, Stu, that's giving me a headache. Not the best Group 2 I've ever seen before. Yeah,
interesting, the Chelmsford. We're going to get to that later on, Mike. And, well, a little bit of a headache for me, mate. We've been on a bit of a tough run of late. We've got to admit that. This show is all about finding winners for the punters. So, mate, I'm going to hold you to account tonight. I'm going to be throwing a few things your way. I'm really keen to bounce back tonight.
We've been mates since we were 6, so I will let you do that, mate. But I'll keep you on your toes as well, I think.
Yeah, good to hear. That's what I like to see. Well, let's have a look at the conditions now, as always, heading into Randwick. And, well, the rail's out 6 metres, Mike. We've got a good track, though.
Yeah, but the Bureau of Meteorology might make a liar of me yet. It says a good track, but the forecast has changed today. During the day on Thursday, there is now some rain forecast on Friday, a 70% chance of about 5 to 10 mils. So watch that carefully. They water the track and put 3 to 4 mils on. If it's firm, it could be on pace near rails. But if it's wet, it should be quite fair.
OK, tough enough to pick winners. Now we're going to have a look at the weather as well. But what about the races here, Mike? I mean, we were going through these. We looked at the Concord Stakes and, well, it's not in our 5 tonight, but what a race.
That was a big, big leave, that one. That was easy. Watch the late betting. Watch the yard for Nature Strip, so important. Race 3 is a great betting race, very open there. Then race 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, good Group 2s. The Chelmsford maybe Group 3 listed level, though, based on the field.
Yeah, OK, so they're the 5 we're going to have a look at. And as you said, we're starting with a very open one. It's race number 3, 1,300 metres, the benchmark 72. And at the top of the betting, it's the 3-year-olds. They are the ones that the punters have come for. Raison d'etre on top as well, but it's Sylvestre there, $4.60. The Hinchinbrook Colt went down as a short price favourite fresh, only the 2 runs at Canterbury. Raison d'etre, good luck to you if you got the $11. Into $4.60, the Exceed and Excel filly did just that, resuming at Canterbury, absolutely blowing them away. Giovanna run $5. The Press Statement filly beating Bazooka and Montefilia before a freshen. Easy trial win since. We've got Archana there, $5.50. Heart in the mount stuff from this horse. It will be running on. Petronius at $8 resuming. Has the gate speed from gap barrier 1. And of course, Gary Moore's always had high praise for this $1 million son of Redout's Choice. And then it's out to Heart of the Oak at $12. But Sylvestre and Raison d'etre, Mike, 2 horses that had a bit of form and they're on top.
Yeah, some great horses, the top 3. I think Archana's going to be probably one you can probably lay on Saturday. Probably needs a wet track in this grade, I think. But let's have a look at Escaped and Sylvestre. Last start, I backed Sylvestre. But when the bias was hot on rails, I knew I was in trouble. Escaped, found the lead, found the right spot with the bias, kicked on well. There's a weight turnaround towards Sylvestre in this race on Saturday, who's probably got more progression, more upside second up. And I love the way this horse finds a line the last 100 metres, Stu.
OK, yeah, you said you backed it this day. It was pretty short too, wasn't it? Around about the even money, I think.
Yeah, you're keeping me on my toes already, mate. Probably not the best bet.
Well, OK, well, let's have a look to see how it finishes then. Mate, is the leader getting away there?
Not too bad, but General Soho and Celerin behind, that form wasn't stamped on Wednesday.
OK, well, there's a look at Sylvestre. Let's have a look at Air to Air now. One of the 4-year-olds in the race. Only had the 4 starts here. This was the 4th. And, well, we're going back to the last preparation. It's only in May, though, but Dawn Passage and Rocker Clock are the 2 that are finishing down the outside. But this horse does well to weave through.
Cracking run, beautiful type, strong, muscular. 2 types of progression for horses, fitness into preparation and overall progression is getting better and better. This horse is getting better and better. This is its best run last start. Rocket Clock, the best rating in the race by far. But how fit will she be first up on Saturday?
OK, no, really interesting time of the year to see how these horses are going to progress. 2 different types of progression. Gosh, the key factors are going to have to help us here. Let's have a look at the form to get this race number 3 started, Mike. Who are we lighting up for the form?
Yeah, she almost beat Rocket Clock, who's a 90-plus rated horse. Light up Air to Air. That's the best run in this field in recent times.
All right, keep your eyes on the top right-hand screen as we run our own little mini race here. Air to Air, the one to catch up, but Sylvestre's already done that with progression.
Yeah, definitely can improve second up. Raison d'etre can improve as well. Big win first up, and Archana has to improve, but she can improve. She's got some upside, I think.
OK, so Sylvestre out in front with Air to Air here, Mike, and of course this distance, 1,300.
Yeah, she's pretty tough, Heart of the Oak. She can do something, but she might go to Wying on Friday, I think.
Okay, and that was obviously one that was stuck on a very wet track. Interesting time of the year. Back to the dry conditions.
You just don't know. Interesting for Raison Detroit. Back to a dry track. What will she do? She's a neat muscular type from Exceed and Excel. And Giovanna Run. Did she like the wet track this prep as well?
Okay, all right. So no gold there for the track conditions. And, well, you're running straight through them here. Sylvestra still on top with air to wear for position in run.
Yeah, maybe if I'm honest, Sylvestra could be a risk from barrier 9, Stu.
A risk for one of your old mates that you backed last start, Sylvestra. But it was on top there. That's important in the ratings with air to wear. How's his favourite Fairy Mite? Race and Detro. Look, it's only a length behind. Giovanna Run, Sylvestra. We're already starting the show with a horse you backed a couple of weeks ago. You're back for more, mate.
Oh dear, I'm in trouble. Now, Raison Detroit and Giovanna Run both won with bias in their favour last start. They're both very good horses. They can win.
True.
I'm a bit scared of them. Sylvestra is the best bet. I backed him last. I think he can win on Saturday. And air to wear, if she shows up first up on Saturday, she'll win by 2 or 3 lengths.
All right, so some value there, air to air, but it's Sylvestra there stepping back in.
I got away with that one.
At a better price than last start. At least we can say that. Let's have a look now. Race number 5 over the 1,500 metres. It's the ATC Farewell Sub-Zero handicap. What a horse Sub-Zero was. Unfortunately passing away at the ripe old age of 32 years, the old Cup winner. What a legend he was. But here we've got Canane, $8 into $5 here. It is the favourite. Drifted when resuming behind McCormack and Think It Over. We've got Just Thinking on the second line there, $6.50. Chasing Fun Fact in the same race off the long break. That is the race. All these horses are coming through. Think It Over there, another one, $7. We've got Pancho, $9. A Forgive here off the Bog Fresh. We've got Masaf that was finishing well there, but with Canane down the outside, and of course Matawi there and Masaf. McCormack, Mike, that was the one that won the race. It was about that price when it won.
Yeah, pretty good price, and it was a decent win, and they backed it last start as well. Good on them. Tracy Bartley say we're getting the prize on a Saturday and fighting on really well. It does like a wet track though, so maybe firmer conditions if the rain doesn't come to negative. Think It Over, pretty strong as well. I thought it was wide no cover. Watching the replay again, it did have cover, probably had its chance, but still a strong run. Masaf, very, very well risen, came fourth, but it was a great ride. Canane, what do you do with him? He was okay. Yonkers on the inside from a 15-20 to 1 shot was much better than him. I thought. Just Thinking okay, Cut It okay. Just not sure about this form line overall.
You're saying there's a lot of okay runs there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Where's Canane going to get to? Well, what have you plucked out here, mate? Surplus, another one of your old faves. Why is this? Is it because it's a good track?
Maybe I shouldn't talk. Maybe you should. You're probably less biased than me. I backed him a couple of times last preparation. Look, he's had one good run on heavy, but that was the only good run on heavy. Most of the other runs on heavy are probably pretty poor. He was back first up at Randwick. He was okay second up on the heavy track. This is what he can do on a dry track at black type level. He can improve third up and do something at 30 to 1.
Is he going to get that sort of track this weekend? All right, that's what we're going to see off the wet track onto the dry track. That is a horse that's not even on the page there. Why? Because it's very big odds. We're starting with the ones with the form here, Mike.
You're being kind. You didn't say why because it's slow, just big odds. Think It Over, McCormack and Spencer, best form. Light them up. Spencer down in grade. Okay,
so Spencer, McCormack and Think It Over. What about progression here, Mike?
Canane does have upside, but I'd rather him over further. Just Thinking can improve second up after a long spell. And Pancho has to improve. That was very poor first up.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Canane over further, but it is not. It is 1,500 metres, and who likes that?
I think they're all fine.
Okay, so we're going to brush straight through that one, but there is a race on here, Mike. There are plenty of chances, but hey, a lot of them like getting back to dry.
There are some big kickers, including Pancho, who I don't think like the heavy track. McCormack, I think, needs soft to win.
Okay, so Think It Over, Pancho and Spencer there, and now we're going back to no gold here.
No, I think it's a pretty even race, this one, Stu. Look at that.
Mate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's nearly 10 horses there, all within a length of each other. How did we come up with this race, mate? Race number 5. This looks terrible to get stuck in, but it looks like a race we might be able to find some value, Mike. Canane, $5, only a length behind. Look at all those. They are 10s, 12s, $13. They're all pretty much value, but there's your little mate right there.
There he is. Yes, he's definitely going to be the value bet, I think. A bit of theory here. If you're back against a form line, sometimes you can get value. So there's probably 6, 7, 8 horses from that McCormack form line.
Yeah.
So I'm going against that. I'm getting value Pancho. He was backed first up. He can improve second up. And Sir Plush, my mate, will firm from $30, Stu. I'm already on.
Yeah, no, interesting how you say that about that race, because obviously so many people looking at that replay going to be taking a horse without taking so much of the market, though.
You're still being kind to me, mate. I'm waiting for the bouncer later.
All right, well, there we go. There's a look at race 3 and 5. Stick around after the break. Plenty more coming your way, including the big features. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We are 2 down, and now we are having a look at race number 6. It's the Darley Furious Stakes, and of course, we're over the 1200 metres, Group 2 for the 3-year-old fillies, and Hungry Heart resuming here, the Frankel filly, winning the Sweet Embrace before a gallant effort in the Golden Slipper. It is the dominant favourite here. Dame Giselle, $4.20, in from $6. The money came and it led all the way in the Silver Shadow. We've got Thermosphere, $8. It was the one chasing Dame Giselle home. Vangelic, $9.50, resuming the Vancouver filly. Had to chase the Everest favourite Nature Strip in its trial, but it did beat Forbidden Love and Chianti home in the Percy Sykes in the autumn. And of course, Stella Pauline, $11, got the maiden out of the way at Hawkesbury, and now it is done that. He's there to play.
Yeah, Hungry Heart, great horse. Dame Giselle, great horse. Thermosphere, was she flattered first up? Let's have a look at the replay and see what we think. The big question for Dame Giselle here was, we knew she was the best horse. Was she going to be able to beat them first up on a windy day with, look, not too much bias, but you had to get momentum off the turn. She led. She was kind of hidden from that wind, wasn't she? She kicked okay, but she was in trouble. The class shone through. Thermosphere probably flat on a soft track, back to Drive the Rain. Doesn't come as a risk. Miss Canada, Reduced Image for Lizzie. I don't think they can turn the tables on Saturday.
Yeah, right. Well, the money came that day. The money's coming again this weekend, Mike. And yeah, I guess when we chatted, that was my big question. You know, was it flattered, or were they catching it there?
Yeah, the time was fair, but I think she's got 2, 3, 4 lengths of upside into this race on Saturday.
Okay, so progression's going to be a key factor there for that horse, you would think. Let's have a look at the Percy Sykes now. Going back to the Randwick Autumn Carnival, we're looking at Vangelic here. There is a Way Game just pushing Chianti out of the way. A Way Game was one of your favourites for the autumn, Mike.
She's so tough, isn't she? I backed her for the Everest. I've probably done my money there. She's probably not good enough, but she's so genuine. I wish she won that Group 1 in Adelaide. Look, Vangelic, the daughter of Vancouver, she loves Randwick, she loves the rail. She lays in a bit when she comes out to the middle. So this is her peak rating by a long way, and she gets an inside barrier again. She beats Dame Giselle that day, who had to face a soft track around.
Yeah, right. So some interesting form lines from the Autumn Carnival. Importantly, coming off the soft track, back onto the dry this weekend. That is the story of the day. So let's have a look at the form here, Mike. And Hungry Heart, well, it came through the slipper and it was a nice run.
Just only half a length, the length in front of Dame Giselle. I think she'll be a 1400 metre plus type in time, but just about the best form.
Okay, fair enough. So the favourite with the form, as you may expect. What about progression here? A lot of these obviously into their 3-year-old.
Yeah,
years.
Hungry Heart first up won't be as fit as Dame Giselle. Thermosphere can improve. Forbidden Love's improving all the time. Stella Pauline can improve. She wasn't fit first up. I think Chianti, you liked that run last start, didn't you, Stu?
Absolutely, and even seeing it in the away game replay there, a few excuses. What about the distance?
They're all sprinters.
They're all sprinters. We don't need any gold bars to help you there at home. Okay, track conditions here, important.
Yeah, big one. Part of the progression for Dame Giselle is the dry track at Randwick. She'll love it. And Chianti, also an I Am Invincible filly. She's never seen a bone dry track. If the rain doesn't come, a big kicker for her, I think.
All right, interesting. Good to see. So Dame Giselle out in front by a length, but Vangelic and Chianti here get the nice position in run.
Yeah, near rails at Randwick with the rail at 6 metres. Both get big gold bars, Vangelic and Chianti.
All right, so Dame Giselle forged to the front there and they just couldn't catch her in the ratings, but a few just in behind, including the favourite Hungry Heart, but $2.80, gee, that seems pretty rock bottom, doesn't it? Vangelic, we know this horse will be right up there. There's Chianti at some nice odds, and Thermosphere doesn't look like it can turn the tables on Dame Giselle.
I don't think so with the factors we've just gone through. Hungry Heart, drawn the inside, maybe midfield on the rails. It's
interesting
those
spot,
odds.
isn't it?
Definitely not backing that horse. Dame Giselle, I think she should be favourite on Saturday, and Vangelic, one of the good roughies, as well as Chianti as well. All
right, Dame Giselle there for us in the Furious. Let's have a look now at the Chelmsford Stakes over the mile. Group 2 level weight for age, and well, there is that horse Avilius on top. $4.60. We know this horse has got the class. It's resuming. The sole runner for Godolphin here, drawing the car park in 16. Angel of Truth, $4.60. Charge late here on the bog behind Man of Peace at its first start for Team Hawks. I know we were on that day. That was a hard watch. Zabrowski, $6.50 to stablemate. Shuffle back to last in the Wing Stakes. Came wide and loved its work late. Mr. Seawolf, how much intent here has the Waller stable got? He can just keep these horses up and running. That's what he's doing with Mr. Seawolf. Shared Ambition, can it bounce back after struggling in those conditions behind Angel of Truth? And of course, Natoya there, the pizza-eating Doncaster winner. It is resuming, but can they beat Avilius, Mike? It's favourite. We know it's classy.
Wendy Roche said she's on a diet, apparently, so we'll see what she looks like in the yard on Saturday. This race is not a very good Group 2, Stuart. This is a poor Group 2. Let's have a look at some Group 1 form and see what we think. Avilius has Group 1 quality, gets to the outside. He runs on very, very well. Life Less Ordinary, just on the edge of group company. He gets the inside run, I know, but he's okay for 6th. And on a dry track, they both beat Angel of Truth. Clearly, Stu.
Okay, so the dry track there beating Angel of Truth, and we know that horse loves the wetter conditions.
Absolutely loves the wet. We'll see the replay in a second, but a dry track if the rain doesn't come is a big risk for him.
Okay, so that was nice work late there from Avilius. Well, let's have a look here now. We're going back. Geez, this was heavy, wasn't it? Heavy 10, Angel of Truth. We had Morton's Fork, Dance, Shed Ambition. Gee, that was closer in the run than a Wallet horse usually is.
What was Tommy Sherry doing? 3 wide, no cover first up. I'm sure Waller had a quiet chat to him in the jockey's room after this. Look, Angel of Truth, we backed him here, got to the outside.
We were cheering
loves
now,
a heavy track. Well, I thought we were in trouble. But the last 200 metres, this horse has a massive surge. He's not accelerating. All the other horses are just simply hitting the wall. Will he be able to quicken on a dry track on Saturday is a question for him.
Oh, I don't think I found man a piece. All preparation.
I've lost a lot of money on that leader. Well done, Louise Day.
All right, let's have a look here at the Chelmsford Stakes. Look, it is Group 2, Mike. I know you said it could have been a little bit better, but hey, look at this. 2 horses way out in front
I
before.
have not seen that page before, but I'm not surprised. Avilius the Class and Finch from Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, good point. On its way to bigger and better things, you would think, the Wallace Stayer. What about the progression here?
Yeah, I guess the question for Avilius and Finch is the first up stats. Are they going to be fit enough first up? Angel of Truth, Dabrowski, Mr. Seawolf, both improving second up into their prep, and Shed Ambition has to improve.
All right, well, there's a bit of gold there, but there's got a long way to go to catch Avilius, who goes further ahead here with distance.
Yeah, it's just Finch, isn't it? He's a stayer, probably needs 2,000 metres plus, and probably don't want the handicap by winning this race.
Okay, so a lot of these look to be in their right distance range, and of course, if we get back to that nice dry track.
Yeah, big question for Angel of Truth. Mr. Seawolf can go okay on dry, but just doesn't want it too firm. Avilius, I think he likes soft, but good track's only half a length behind.
Okay, I know you've studied this horse ever since it got here, mate, after that first up win in Australia. And look, we can just brush over the position in run.
Mate, I was at Goodwood Race when he won first up. No position in this race.
Yeah. All right, so it's Avilius by a couple of lengths there in the Chelmsford, over the mile. All right, Mike, I mean, we've had interesting chats here. Finch is one you've mentioned a couple of times. It's going on to bigger and better things. Angel of Truth, well, one of your horses here. There's one you're not quite involved in this week.
No, I'm not being that loyal, am I? But he is a wet tracker, and I backed him because of the wet last start. Look, this just looks too easy, Stu. Is this too easy or is this too easy? Avilius is the best horse in the race. If he turns up, he wins. And Lifeless Ordinary is the only one with form within a length or two over 1,600 metres. I don't think Finch will be ready first up.
Okay, best horse, top weight, draws 16, but it's winning. So there we go, a bit of confidence there. Let's get stuck in now to race number 8, and it is the Tramway Stakes, 1,400 metres, Group 2, the last of the 5 races we're looking at, and Dreamforce, $5.50 into $4.20, dropped out after the speed battle with Wolf in the Winks Stakes. What are the punters going to do with this horse? We've got Vanna Girl on the second line, $5 resuming, winner 7 out of 10. Queensland are going like bustards in the league, but this horse could be their saviour. We've got Colette, $5 out to $8 resuming, the AT Oaks winner. Rock, $9 resuming, 2 trials. I liked the last one. Looks like Elvis, $10. No luck in the show county. Absolutely bunch finish. Is this horse the one that's under the radar? We've got Reloaded at $10. Opacity there, $10. Oh, its trials were something to watch. And Colding, $11. I backed this last start, Mike, that it's in the market here.
Yeah, it was backed as well. Let's have a look at the replay. It was 30s into 20s at Randwick, and it was 4 wide, no cover into a stiff headwind. He sort of loomed for a second, but the last 200 metres was weak. Both these replays we're looking at, no horses finish in the top 9. They're both 10th or worse.
Okay. Well, that's what you got to do.
But looking at Dreamforce, who worked early, looking at Colding, it was 4 wide, no cover. They both had no luck, but one of them gets lapped, Stu.
Yeah, and look, absolutely pulled up. It was obviously the best horse in this sort of race last prep, Mike, but questions on this prep?
And not have Dreamforce Colding, I can forgive though.
Okay, all right, that's what we're going to do. Let's have a look now. Looks like...
You sound suspicious.
Looks like Elvis. Now, mate, this horse was just on the back of these. You'll see it late. It's only, what, a couple of lengths. We're talking horses here, Rohiran, Probabile, Fun Star. Where is it in the mix in a Group 2?
I think I don't know. I think it was in the right spot this day. Wild Planet probably should have won. We were on that. Just got held up at the key moment, and that's hard to watch. Yeah. I think the way the race was set up, it wasn't a very strong last 200 metres, but he was very unlucky. He probably should have gone very close to winning. His form last preparation is fine, Stu.
Yeah, what do you do with a bunch finish like that?
Very, very risky to take it on.
All right, well, it's race number 8. It's the last of the 5 we're looking at. So here we are. Where is all the form going here, Mike? Colette the Oaks winner.
Dreamforce got lapped at the end of last preparation. The trials were fair to plain, and he got lapped first up. So no, Colette, Group 1 winner.
All right, Dreamforce, look at that. He has got miles of work to do if he's going to be factoring in this race. Does he have progression?
Of course he's got improvement. We're guessing how much, but it's going to be a big, big ask to win this race. I think Colette, first up a risk. Rock, a bit of a risk first up as well. And Opacity, definitely a risk first up.
Yep, OK, so Colding there as well with Vanna Girl. Some gold, of course, the distance here, Mike.
Yeah, most of them OK. Vanna Girl back in distance, Colette back in distance, and Opacity risks again. OK,
so Dreamforce gets its pet distance and track conditions here, Mike. We know that horse likes it, so it's coming good.
Yeah, I guess there is some upside for Dreamforce, but Colette maybe not as much for her. She does like a soft track.
OK, but Vanna Girl and Colding and Reloaded all out in front here, Mike, and it's Reloaded that gets a nice position in run.
Very, very tempting to back Reloaded. James Mack, inside barrier, box seat, tick, tick, tick.
All right, so a lot of ticks there late in the piece through the key factors. And, well, importantly, Mike, there were a few at odds getting a few nice ticks there. And, well, not Dreamforce, $4.20. It made a late run, but it didn't get the money. But look, mate, there's another race here with about 10 horses, the 2 lengths between all these 10 horses, and late in the day, it looks as though a race we're playing some value.
It's a very tricky day, so betting small. I tried to make laying Dreamforce my best bet, but that's not how this show works. So it is not my best bet. Colding's in the mix, I think, and he's the way I want to play. But it's an open race, so small bets on a few, including Dragon Leap.
Yep.
The trial was very quiet, very sneaky for him.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Colding back to winning ways, of course, after that great Golden Eagle preparation last spring. Well, let's look at 5 big races at Randwick this weekend. Stick around after the break. Plenty more coming your way, including the $100 hot seat and, of course, our charity multi. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We have had a look at some of the big group racing at Randwick on Saturday. We didn't get to dissect the Concord Stakes, though, but that is going to figure in some of the tips, of course, as we have a look at the rest of the card here, Mike. I know you've been poring over the form guides all week long. Here we are. Here's your chance to shine, mate. Come on, let's go.
It's tricky though, isn't it, Stu? I'm not sure I'm going to shine Hardo.
Come on.
I like him, but he could get buried at 290, but he's the best horse in the race going forward. Tim's Principle with a claim, very hard to beat each way. Sylvestra, I like him at 460. Gytrash at 350 is hard to beat. Pancho back to a dry. Dame Giselle. Avilius, the best horse, maybe on the card. Colding can return to form a Masked Crusader. Everyone in the world is tipping him.
Yeah, it looks pretty well placed here in the last, doesn't it? $1.75. All right, Mike, there was some confidence through the show. There are a few races I was iffy about, but this is your chance to shine, mate. This is the profit that needs to start getting better, because at the moment, it's still minus.
Yeah,
we're in the negative, mate.
You've been kind to me, so maybe I should be confident. Sylvestra, strong to the line, $20 at 460, $5 anywhere. Good first up, I think. Maybe just check the yard. So plush, $10 each way. The best value of the day, race 5. Don't mind that race. Race 6, $20 Dame Giselle for 40. Vangelic and Chianti, the threats. And check the yard again, but Avilius, $20, the best horse potentially on the card, and Life Less Ordinary, a little bit of cover for Waller.
Mate, air to air, you think, and Sylvestra was one that you absolutely played last start. You've come back for those.
What?
That seemed like the toughest race, mate. You did not sell me on any of those tips in that $100 hot seat.
What is going
I want them
on?
out, mate. Come on, let's do it again.
Mate, I thought
no race 3. That was terrible.
You said you were going to keep me on my toes. All right. Let's have a look again, bring it up, and we'll change the data around.
Race 3, you did not sell anyway. You didn't sell the viewers.
The magic of television. Race 5, $10 each way surplus. We'll add Pancho, Matawi and Spencer.
You can have Spencer,
You've thrown me off, and we'll completely can race 3 because my good mate Stu doesn't like it.
Oh, mate, no, I don't like it. You've got to sell me. All right, okay, so we've got 5, 6 and 7 in there. That should get us back into 2020 profit.
I like this.
Let's have a look now at our charity multi. Of course, we're doing it for the Bondi to Berry Ride to Remember for Dementia Australia. Let's start with a multi. Race number 6. We're going Chianti for the place. Looks huge odds, this horse. We saw that Percy Sykes form. Avilius, well, Giselle, you just said it. This could be the best horse on the card for a place, $1.75. We'll multi those up at $6.30. And a box first 4. Let's go to race 6. Well, I think we both love this race. Dame Giselle, Stella Pauline, Hungry Heart. We've got to put it in for a first 4. Then Jellic will be there. Chianti's the one we like. And, of course, Forbidden Love. Let's have a look at that for a first 4, Mike. I reckon that'll be paying. And we've got 6 horses in it and a few at some nice odds.
Hungry Heart to get buried and finish 5th, flashing late. And can you stand out Stella Pauline for 2nd?
Oh, not again.
Geez, she loves running a place, doesn't she?
Does, but did get the win on the board. Well, look, there's a good look at the racing this weekend, but I'll tell you what's going to help you even more if you head to theraceguide.com.au, because all your feature profiling's there. The team has been hard at work to see how your horse is going to get through the Randwick conditions this week onto the good track. And for those of you out there, enjoy the group racing.
Good luck on Saturday.